What's going on? So I talked some of the top corners for the 2024 NFL Draft. So really, as of this point, my number one is Kool-Aid McKinstry. Kool-Aid, just if you watch Kool-Aid McKinstry play, certainly a guy that stands out. I mean, he can cover, he can tackle, he can match up with the opponent's best receivers. He's a guy that's been coached up as of now by Nick Saban. So Kool-Aid McKinstry, a lot of things to like, not only from his skill set in the program that he plays at, but who he's coached by. So Kool-Aid McKinstry, and he also is the consensus number one corner right now. So big fan of Kool-Aid's game. He's a special talent, really good player. I really like McKinstry a lot. Denzel Burke, another guy at corner that's really good. Denzel Burke from Ohio State didn't have as good of a year last year. You know, to be honest, I haven't really watched him play too much this year. But Burke, I mean, if you scout his skill set from the first couple of years, I mean, the athleticism's all there. He's kind of one of those guys that, you know, a lot of the plays he gives up are due in part to they just trust him to cover man-to-man on an island very frequently. So that's why he's giving up the plays. But Burke, certainly a capable or a very good corner and a guy that's going to be in the mix for one of the top corners, maybe the consensus number 2 corner. Nate Wiggins, another guy out of Clemson. Wiggins, an athlete, was a highly touted athlete coming out of high school. You got really a lot of vibes of A.J. Terrell when you watch him play. That's what he makes you really think of. You know, I think Wiggins could be really good. He's just kind of got to polish up some things. I think he's a guy that just needs. He's banged up in the Florida State game. I'm not sure the status of his health at this point, but he's a guy that just needs to continue to play and get more experience. Another guy like Denzel Burke, you know, Clemson. I don't know about as much this year, but Clemson has tends to run quite a bit of man-to-man coverage, and they trust Wiggins on an island. So a lot of, he's given up some catches just due in part to him playing man-to-man coverage frequently. So, yeah. Nate Wiggins, Denzel Burke, Kool-Aid McKinstry, three of the top guys, three of the most athletic guys. Who's the kid out of? What's the Penn State corner's name? He's escaping me. His name's escaping me right now. He's number 4, Kalen King. So Kalen King, another guy out of Penn State. He's a guy that's got really good ball skills, moves well, a pretty solid size. A guy that just, you can tell he's got some good aggression, good competitiveness. So Kalen King, another guy that'll be up there. In the ball skill, not only just ball skills to create pass breakups, this guy can go get interceptions. So I really like Kalen King a lot. I think he's got a good skill set. And I think, don't be surprised if there's some people throwing his name out there as maybe the top corner, at least the second best corner or the top corner in this draft. Who else for some other corners? Abrams Drain from Missouri is another guy. Terrion Arnold from Alabama. Terrion Arnold, another good corner who's draft eligible. Yeah, I really enjoy cornerback play is really fun to watch. But yeah, it's so it'll be interesting. Kool-Aid, kind of like Marvin Harrison is locked in at the number 1 receiver position, and how Brock Bowers is locked into the number 1 tight end position. It appears that Kool-Aid might be that guy at corner that is just kind of locked in at that number 1 spot. Now, corner is a position where, like, look at this past draft. There was a lot of people that had Christian Gonzalez number 1. There was people that had Devin Witherspoon number 1. Corner, it seems like a position that's usually split. There's usually, you remember, and then 2 years ago it was about, well, it was maybe 60% of people had Sauce Gardner number 1 corner, and then like 35%, 40% had Derek Stingley. So corner is usually a position where there's not really a consensus number 1, but there is a consensus top 2, and there's usually a split at number 1. So I think that's what's going to be fascinating to watch about corner is first of all, what two guys are kind of talked about as the 1 and 2? It appears it could be Denzel Burke and Kool-Aid that are those guys. So who are the most talked about? Got top two guys, and then what percentage of people view guy A as their clear-cut number one, and which percentage of people view guy B, if you will, as the clear-cut number one. So that's what's going to be fascinating to watch as the season moves on and we get closer to draft time. But yeah, I wish I could throw out a few more names, but I think as of right now, I just want to talk about Denzel Burke, Nate Wiggins, against Florida State, he was really doing a pretty good job. So Burke, Wiggins, Kalen King from Penn State, Kool-Aid, just some names to throw out there.